Hey there guys, this is Guy Ferdman of SatoriPrime.com, and I'm making this video as the first video, and hopefully will be kind of a video blog slash log of videos. And I got this idea from Eric Worre, and recently we were out at the Jonathan Budd Mastermind, and we got there because we had placed 15th in his futuristic marketing launch, and we got to sit around for the weekend, and by sit around I mean have a really good time with 50 of the top marketers in the industry. And it just got me thinking how I got to where I got to in my life. It got me thinking about what's making the difference in my business, what's making the difference in the results of my life, and kind of a rule of thumb that Elon and I always have about our results. If you want to know why you're getting the results you're getting, always look at your intentions, right? So if you're not involved in personal development, if you're new to it, if you've been around for a few years, I'm sure in some way, shape, or form you'll be able to map yourself onto this. But there's this distinction I always like to use, and it's the way that people listen to you. Okay, and I know it's a kind of a funny way to say that, but if you look around in your life, there's a particular way that the people in your family listen to you, that your coworkers or other people that you do business with listen to you. There's a way people listen to you when you meet them in the street and say hello. There's a way that people who take money from you at the cash register listen to you. Now, when you've been involved in personal development for a long time, and Elon and I have been around it for nearly a decade, one of the things that you want to transform with people if you want to start showing up differently is the way that people listen to you. Now, how do you do that? Well, you got to take a look at yourself, and you got to look at where you're not being responsible for the things in your life that you could be taking responsibility for. Now, I said could and not the word should, because should is kind of a misnomer in language. There's nothing that you ever should be doing or should not be doing, but it's your choice whether or not you want to take responsibility for things. Now, most people don't want to take responsibility for things because it occurs to them as a fault or a blame type of phenomenon, when in fact taking responsibility can be a very empowering experience and really has nothing to do with faulting or blaming. It's just the ability to put oneself at the source of what's happening in your life. So if you're getting results, you're at the source of it. If you're not getting results, you have the source of it. Now, is that true? No, it's not true, but really nothing in life is quote-unquote true. Now, there are a lot of valid things that you believe, but none of them are the ultimate truth, right? And seriously, guys, like, you get to choose your own truth, right? So you got to look at what's more empowering way to look at things, to not take responsibility for them or to take responsibility for them. Now, I assert if you're not taking responsibility for what's happening in your life, in your business, with your friends and relationships, with your family, obviously, with loved ones, if you're not taking responsibility, I want you to imagine like you're driving a car and you're willing to do the gas pedal and the brakes, but you're not willing to take, the steering wheel in your hands. Now, if you are willing to take responsibility, it's like saying, all right, my hands are firmly on the steering wheel. If this car crashes, I did that. If this car goes down the highway of 120 miles per hour, I did that. If this car gets from point A to point B, I did that. And always looking from that perspective to see what you can learn from the point of view of it's my responsibility. Now, why are we having this conversation? And at the end of this video, I'm going to give you a really cool opportunity, but I wanted to frame it more in how to grow, right? Like, it's all about growth, in my opinion, in life and in business. And if you can even remove that border between life and business and have your business be your life and your life be your business, that much more better. But the reason we're talking about growth and listening and responsibility here is because when you start taking responsibility for things, people start listening to you different. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay, now let's say the President of the United States, who recently gave his speech, and whether you liked it or not, let's not talk politics, but if Obama went on a street corner and there was no distinction for president, right? If we hadn't elected him president, he didn't have that distinction. He can say exactly what he said at the Democratic National Convention, and he would sound like a crazy person, just like a homeless person, who shouts in the middle of the street or on the street corner. I'm from New York City, so tend to see a lot of that sometimes. But you're not going to stand there and listen and think to yourself, "Wow, this is a really wise man." Leading the country, taking us in a particular direction. Again, whether you agree with it or not is a completely different conversation. But the point is that distinction, that listening that we offer him allows him to be president and say brilliant things or not brilliant things. Again, who cares? at this point in time. But the point is, everyone has a distinction that they are, whether it's with your family or with your friends or whatever. In any sort of relationship, you are showing up to the people in your life in a particular way based on the listening that they give to you. Now, if you ever want to transform, a relationship, one of the things you got to do is take ownership in that relationship, what you've not been willing to take ownership for. And again, this can be in business or your personal life, but the moment you do take responsibility for it and you let the other person know what they can count on you for, and you actually have the integrity to live that, that person is going to start listening you different, and around them you're actually going to show up in a different way. Now, if you don't share anything with them, you don't take responsibility for anything, whatever it is that you might have discovered about yourself, around them, you're always going to sound the same. You're never going to have this new space to speak into. And if you want to start feeling your power, if you want to start feeling your leadership and what's possible for you, you must take responsibility for the things in your life, especially with the relationships that matter to you the most. And that really stops looking like a relationship where you believe it's 50-50 and starts looking like a relationship where you believe it's 100% over here and 0% over there. Again, not the truth, just a more powerful way of looking at relationships. And inside that space, what actions would you take if you were being 100% responsible for that relationship? Now, if you go take those actions, I promise you that your relationship with this person, with this situation, whatever it might be, is going to transform. And the listening that is now offered to you around that relationship, around that circumstance, that situation, you'll have a lot more power in that, okay? So I'm going to give you a really cool example of how this works. Now, Elon and I have been in this industry for under 18 months. I'm a little bit more veteran than he is, but not by much. And our personal brand is just over a year old. Now, we've gotten some terrific results in this industry, and a lot of it has to do with this ability to take responsibility for what was not working in our business and our lives, and having the conversations that make a difference, that allow for powerful listening to show up. And I can tell you that that's one of the main reasons how we ended up at Jonathan Budd's house in this incredible mastermind with literally, the top names in the business. So I'm not going to name drop, but if you were following along who's on the futuristic marketing launch, you can go take a look at that list and see that it really was the the 1% of the industry there. So that was really cool. Now I'm going to give you an example of how this works out. So if you guys know, Elon and I are the creators of the Facebook Wheel training, or strategy rather, which is a really unique way to strategize and make money by leveraging Facebook advertising. Okay. Now, one of the questions that I often get asked once people go through the training is they want to know more about PPC training. Now, the reason Elon and I did not do a pay-per-click training is it's a saturated market. There are so many pay-per-click trainings out there, and honestly about 90% of them are not good, because I've been through a lot of them. Now, somebody who does a really great training is Brian Moran of Get 10,000 Fans, and Brian also started his business about 2 years back, and today he's got nearly 261,000 followers on Facebook the last time I checked. So really impressive. Now, Brian's Facebook pay-per-click training, I think, is a really great training for people in my community. However, it's extremely expensive. He retails it at almost $2,000, and he even sells it at a lower price of $997. So recently, because of this listening that we've been able to create around ourselves, around our brand, and what we've established, we have a little bit of weight in the industry. We can kind of leverage that weight now, and because of that, we have gone to bat for you guys. So here's what we did. We reached out to Brian, and we told him, look, we have a lot of great consumers who are getting awesome results, but they can really use some more PPC training. However, they're not 1% in the industry. They don't want to drop $1,000 on a single training. What can you do for our guys? And I kind of heard him smirk on the other line, and he said, look, I know who you guys are. I know what you're about. I know you run your business with integrity, and I'm going to do this for you. So he actually did a special promotion with us, and it's something you can only exclusively get through Satori Prime. You can now pick up Brian Moran's $997 training for as little as $97 today through our link. So I'm going to put the link below this video, and you guys can come here and take action on that. I don't know how long this promotion is going to go on for. We didn't really discuss a timeline. It really just depends on him and what his margins look like, but he can really come to us and shut it down any day. But my point here is, people oftentimes put this impression that it's going to take a certain amount of time for something to happen, and they think that they can, I hear all the time, I don't have money and I don't have time. And the reality is, guys, is time and money is just energy. It's like anything else, and you really do get to say. So, if there's a little tweak that I can give you inside your speaking, is stop saying I don't have time, and don't even say I don't have anything, because you're the one actually making it. And again, that goes back to the willingness to be 100% responsible for what's happening in your life. So you can't have time happen to you. You're making time actually happen. So just like you make time for your kids or you make time for your job, you make time for the things that are important to you. Now it's your job to distinguish what is really important to you, and you'll notice that you take action on the things that are really truly important to you, but you have to create that distinction. So our business obviously is really important to us. So the people we work with, our people who buy our products, are really important to us, and we want to make sure that we're taking care of you to the best of our ability. So we've kind of gone to bat for you here. We pushed our weight around, and we struck this deal to literally save you 90% on one of the best products in the industry. So again, I'm going to put that link below. You guys can check it out. If it's not a pathway for what you want to do with your business, great. If it is, awesome. Go check it out. No pressure. But I thought it was really cool that we got to do that and kind of, use our power, use our leverage, and strike these kind of great deals to just be of service to you guys and help you out with what you're doing. And with that said, just to recap again, the thing you're going to want to do in any area of life that you don't have power, self-expression, or freedom around is you're going to want to take a look at. The first thing you want to take a look at is, where am I not being responsible for this? And then the second thing you want to do is look at what's missing, the presence of which can make a difference for you. And when I say that, it's not what you could be doing, it's who you could be being. And that's a huge, huge, huge distinction. Eastern culture is very, very about who you're being, while Western culture is so much about what we're doing. And you'll often notice that what you're doing is really not what's making the difference in your life, but who you're being is ultimately what's going to make a huge difference in your life, and will also naturally allow you to take actions based on that being that will actually get you the type of results that you want. So that's just kind of a quick tip for me today. I hope to make a lot more of these videos for you guys. In fact, I will be making, I won't even say hope, at least 3 to 4 videos of this a week. We'll have them numbered. You guys can follow us along, just give you our thoughts, feelings. Some days we might be pissed off. Some days we're going to be really, really happy. But we'll make this, inside of integrity, really honest, and let you guys know exactly what's going on with us, and hopefully you follow along and get a lot of value. So call this video 001, and 002 coming shortly, and speak to you soon, guys. Have a fantastic day. Take it easy. Bye.